co-sponsorship. It's because the dependent variable is dichotomous, we should use a logic regression analysis. Then here is a list of independent variables and related hypotheses to test theories of congressional behavior regarding North Korea policymaking. First, if a member is representing two big states with a heavy population of Koreans and Korean Americans, he or she is more likely to get involved in co-sponsorship activities, a basic line of electoral connections. Second, I think this is truly interesting to me. I mean, I don't understand how I got this, but I mean, I have seen some pattern and trend among the members of Congress who are co-sponsoring North Korea bills and resolutions. I found a lot of Jewish members in Congress who are very interested in North Korea issues. So the second hypothesis is this: a Jewish member is more likely to be active on the issue of North Korea by participating in the debates over the PRK compared to other members of Congress. So like I said, at first glance, it might look irrelevant, the Jewish members in North Korea. But if you think about the concerns raised by Jewish members over human rights abuses and nuclear threats, it makes a perfect sense for Jewish members to be active on this issue of DPRK. And third hypothesis is members with strong ideological convictions, liberals and conservatives, are hypothesized to be more likely to be co-sponsors of North Korea bills and resolutions. In addition, and just following the findings in the literature, I assume that junior members, backbenchers, co-sponsor more often because they need more opportunities to publicize their positions. And fourth, if a member is sitting on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, he or she is more likely to co-sponsor than others. And finally, as typical, a GOP member is hypothesized to be more active than their Democratic colleagues over DPRK-related security issues. So these are the hypotheses I have tested using logic regression analysis. And before getting to the statistical findings, here is a party breakdown during this period, number of co-sponsors. So 103rd Congress and 107th Congress, Democrats seem to be more active. And 104th Congress and 110th Congress and 105th Congress, and the Republicans appear to be more active on the issue of North Korea. So it's not necessarily it's one-sided information we can get in terms of party breakdown and party positions on North Korea. This is my favorite part. I mean, if you like it or not, I mean, this is what we do in the study of Congress. If you do not use a high level of regression analysis, I mean, there will be zero possibility for your papers to be published in top-ranked journals. So I don't know. It's just, I mean, so just trust me. I mean, don't have any doubts about these things. Percent correctly predicted. The bottom line here is 86, 94, 94%, 95%, 87, 92. That's a pretty, I mean, solid numbers. So the model works okay. And influences, that's the list of independent variables. California and New York, and Jewish member, and extreme ideology, and Foreign Affairs Committee membership, Armed Services Committee membership, Republican or not. So if you look across 103rd through 110th Congress, the first item, California and New York, so 103rd, 104th, and 107th, they are statistically significant determinants of members of Congress voting or co-sponsorship decisions. And Jewish member, 103rd, 106th, and 110th, they're also very active. And extreme ideology, 104th, 106th, 107th, and 110th. Foreign Affairs Committee, that's the arguably one of the most statistically significant determinants of co-sponsorship activities by members of Congress. So if you are a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, So these three asterisks indicates that we are 99% confident that we have to reject the null hypothesis. That sounds like I'm teaching political science research methods, but the null hypothesis is that the House Foreign Affairs Committee membership has no bearings or whatsoever on co-sponsorship decisions. We have to reject that null hypothesis by 99% confidence. So that's very strong. But interestingly enough, Armed Services Committee membership is not telling us much about Congress and foreign policy. I think that characterizes the up-to-date status and situations between the United States and North Korea to a large extent. So basically, I mean, there has been a series of security-related topics and threats and debates, but the bottom line is that the United States has heavily engaged in diplomatic channels and dialogues compared to any military actions so far. And Republican Party or not, the 105th and 110th and 107th. So, findings, the recap of what you have just seen. Number one, the presence of large Korean populations clearly explains active co-sponsorship activities. Number two, both the conservatives and liberals have shown some solid interest in together taking care of North Korean issues. It is Jewish members who have actively and consistently over time participated in debates about North Korea. So Ben Gilman, so people, I mean, whose last name are finishing with Mon. Ben Gilman, Howard Berman, and the Eric Cantor is one Republican Jewish member, but he has also shown some big interest in co-sponsorship as well on the issue of North Korea. And finally, number four, House members on the Foreign Affairs Committee proved to be the most outspoken critics of the DPRK regime, whereas Armed Services Committee members have not been particularly vocal during the North Korea debates in Congress. So here is my conclusion. Well, like I said, I mean, on the outset, I mean, this is a part of my larger project dealing with co-sponsorship as a foreign policy tool. And believe it or not, this is my first time ever to do some research on North Korea issues. So I'm a student of U.S. American politics and American foreign policy. And I realized that North Korea could serve as a very good test case for U.S. Congress and foreign policy making in the post-Cold War era. So I mean, think about the issues raised by North Korea, provoked by North Korea, human rights abuses and nuclear non-proliferation. Those are the two benchmarks. Those are very much signature issues after the Cold War was ended. So North Korea case is a good test case for better understanding how U.S. Congress is responsive to those very important issues. And U.S. Congress and North Korea policymaking, of course, I mean, you have heard a lot about the Obama administration and the Bush administration in taking on the North Korean issues. And benign negligence might be one characteristics of the Obama administration policy toward North Korea. I mean, like Hillary Clinton mentioned that, I mean, it's North Korea is kind of, children who keep crying for something. So it's, if you go to some big political science conferences, and if you attend some foreign policy panels, even some high, big-name American scholars are still curious about what the Obama administration's foreign policy toward Korea is. It's very much in the shade. So U.S. Congress at least has opened a public forum where different perspectives and different members are proposing their own takes on this issue of human rights and nuclear non-proliferation. But also we have to admit that there are huge restrictions, of course. Members of Congress, 435 in the House and 100 in the Senate. I mean, it's a collective body in which members of Congress always interested in re-elections. So long-term kind of North Korea policymaking might be